Okay.
What are you, Andrew Tate?
Since when? What's that?
Doesn't know what he does. Put shades on inside.
These are legitimate glasses. I need these. I can't like see these screens without them. Sorry, my eyesight don't function 100%. I'm Andrew Tate all of a sudden. Dead weight, man. No, in all seriousness, right. Good evening. What's going on? Nation of Conversation, another episode. Joined with me, Haley Supreme One and Only, and J.Miller. Let's hit it right from the start. CM Punk opening. He came right out with a mission. He hit that mic. It was must-watch TV. Any thoughts on the opening? Haley Supreme, go.
Yeah, it was a perfect way to open Raw because I imagine everyone's going to be frustrated with what's happened with Cena and Rock. Cena's character changes the dynamic of everything. Everything that people have been saying about Cena has kind of been legitimized, whether it's The Miz, whether it's Daniel Bryan, whether it's CM Punk. He is CM Punk being pissed makes complete sense. And then transitioning into him and Rollins basically trying to kill each other. I know they're working an angle, but I don't believe that this is just an angle. I genuinely believe they hate each other. I just watched the Rollins interview on the Not Sam Wrestling podcast, and he was just ripping Punk to shreds. Like he was seething when he was saying it. So I was like, I know that like they blur the lines and they've become very good at that. I am firmly in the camp of, if you gave Rollins a gun and he could get away with it, he would shoot CM Punk. Undoubtedly.
That has a very good analogy, whatever it's called. Okay, J.Miller, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I generally am engaged by all of it. Like, I'm not even a big Punk fan, but watching them two go at it is actually just like, you know what? I am into it. Just because, one, it's very believable. Two, the definition of on-site. Like, the time where they went on each other, the second time I'm like, okay, you know, no words, just attack. Like
every time Seth's music hits, burn it down. Everyone is sick of it. Well, whoever's in the ring, you know, doing a promo, and the way he seems like, nah, dead this on site. Let's get him. I'm like,
I'm enjoying it. So like, yeah, no, let it continue. I'm interested for next week, and yeah, let's see.
I do absolutely love the way he mocked The Rock though with the goosebumps thing, and he called her a bald-headed freak and called John Cena a bald-headed freak as well. And I was just like, yeah, no, Punk is excellent on the mic. If you want to get a show off to a good start without wrestling, put Punk on the mic and just let him talk. So yeah, I think they did the right thing, especially with Cena not being on Raw, where like a lot of my friends that don't watch wrestling they're like, Ross, Cena turned heel, so everyone's tuned in, but he wasn't there. And they were like, but then having Punk come out, they were all like, okay, I'll stick around and watch this. So I think whoever wrote that, probably Triple H, they did the right thing.
Get them invested in another person there, and it becomes I'm watching WWE for more than one reason, not just Cena being heel, but now Punk. Like, oh shoot, good idea.
Yeah, and I do like the way they've crafted it because everyone's path to WrestleMania is kind of intertwined. Everybody is involved with everybody in some sense. And you know that Roman's is going to come back next week. He's going to do something in the steel cage. You know that Roman is obviously connected to Rock and Cena with their history. And he's connected to Cody. Where does Kevin Owens fit in on this? Because Kevin Owens for a long time was very much against Roman. But now Cena has sold out to The Rock. And I guess Roman's not going to like that. So how are they going to interact? I think what Triple H has done. By the way, just going to address this now. All of these people on Twitter are like, oh, Triple H is a terrible booker, blah, blah, blah. And then after Elimination Chamber, they're like, oh, let him cook. Go and fuck yourselves. These guys flip-flop like crazy. I said it from day one, Triple H and HBK, great bookers. Let them do their thing. Not every episode is going to be 10 out of 10. And clearly, they knew what they were doing. They had the story planned out since Bad Blood. And I believe them. I don't think it just fell into their lap.
Long-term booking. Let them do what they need to do. The Rock doesn't need to drop every 2 seconds. You heard me when the Rock came out and said, you know, me and you, Cody, we're friends. And like, you can't be friends with Cody after what you did. It's like, see the grand scheme. I'm friends with you. Look what I can do for you. Being with me works for you. Now, sell me your soul. Like, it's just let them do their thing. So I don't want, with Hayden Supreme, I don't want, take off these glasses. I'm looking at you dead in the camera, those of you on X with the angry Twitter fingers and whatnot. Let them work. We don't need to hear any further noise about Triple H doesn't know what he's doing. Same with HBK. Give them time. The best stories that have been told over the last 5 to 7 years have been given them room to make those stories. Let them do their thing. Trust in the process.
I love the fact that y'all are trying. Basically, one ear out the other. Fickle, you know what kind of fan base we're dealing with here. I respect it, but I mean, come on now. This is years on repeat. So,
someone just said Charlotte, right?
Yeah, apart from Charlotte.
I wanted to add to
Triple H ain't perfect. He does fumble. Clearly, that was a fumble.
You made a good point there, and I wanted to say, we need that kind of really long-term booking or long-term storytelling with the women's division. That I can't think to mind that kind of story. We've obviously seen natural come-ups like Becky becoming the man, but not a really big overarching story of, hey, the bloodline was a crazy story. Cody Rhodes' rise was a crazy story. What's now going to be seen as heel turn to be a crazy story.
Not entirely true, because I don't know if you watched Rhea's interview after Raw.
I did send this to him. Mm-hmm.
You should have watched it because it's very clear that somebody else is writing her storyline now. Whoever wrote that is genius, because you can clearly see that they are working off the angle of she has been isolated. She's lost everyone around her. She's become complacent, and now she's lost her world title. And you could see that she was becoming, what's the right word? Like, not nervous, paranoid. She looked paranoid in that interview. And when Kathy said to her, do you feel isolated? It was like a trigger word for her. And she was sitting there like almost rocking back and forth, thinking about how she's lost everyone. So I think that they're going to push Rhea off in a different direction, which is needed, to be honest. She was getting a little bit stale for my liking. So I do think in the women's division, because she mentioned Bianca, they've shown that Iyo Sky's had her number and she can't overcome her, but there was a friendship there as well. I think they're building something there, and it's going to start with Rhea and trickle off into other people.
So I was going to bring this up later, but I guess we're here now. So
yeah, segment. Good,
yeah, I guess we're here now. So with Rhea's promo, like, I feel that they're giving her an actual weakness, because obviously beforehand it was just like, all right, I'll talk about it since we're here. The finish, I'm not the biggest fan of. A Frankenstein and a moonsault for Rhea, for me, it didn't hit. Not for me. I'm fine with the result. I'm fine with the result. The result's fine. It's just, I think that particular finish sucked. I'll be real. In terms of the promo and building upon what they were doing, fantastic. Like, you're giving someone who has been built to be an absolute monster actual weaknesses. So that's great. You're giving her a really fleshed out character. And I'm going to be interested to see how it goes out from the future. But in terms of the finish itself, for me.
Didn't like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
the finish was a bit jank. A moonsault as a finisher is always a bit like, can you really sell this against somebody that's like Rhea, who's unstoppable or shown to be that way? So I do think that Iyo should probably change up finishes or have that as her signature attack and something else as a finisher. But the way Rhea reacted afterwards, that you could hear her swearing outside the mat and outside the ring. And let's just quick acknowledgement from our babe Iyo. She's now a Grand Slam champion, and she's the first woman to win both WWE Championship, the new one, and the World Heavyweight Championship. So, and I also have to give props to Triple H, because that match when he booked it, I was like, they're just throwing the Iyo fans a bone. She's gonna get squashed, and he swept us.
What did I interrupt you? I said she ain't going away quietly. I said that to you. I was like, you were there being all angry, and I'm like, listen, it ain't gonna be that simple. And what happened? What happened? It ain't that simple.
Yeah, no, fair play to him. It's made it now where it's like you have to tune in, because I watched half of Raw when it started airing, and then I was gonna wake up and watch it. And obviously, I woke up and I saw all the tweets, and I was like, "Fuck, man! I wish I watched this live." So it creates that urgency. Yeah, because all these idiots, they know I'm an Iyo fan, so they're tagging me on Twitter. Michael, your girl won, your girl won. I was like, "Go fuck yourself."
Made a 6 a.m. video. He would have made a 6 a.m. video. I was like, "This is the stuff I told you." He would have made a 6 a.m. video, 100%.
100%.
I'm like, he ain't seen it yet, because otherwise it would have been nice.
Yeah, there would have been. I would have been up partying. So yeah, he's made television or Netflix like must watch rather than just pay-per-views. I hope that extends to Saturday night's main event, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm scared from you. I'm scared for you, Halo Supreme, because okay, my predictions are wrong a majority of the time, and I hope I'm going to be wrong here.
We know.
Right? Iyo Sky's won the championship. It's supposed to be right now, the time of saying this or recording this, Bianca versus Iyo at WrestleMania. I suspect Iyo might be a transitional champion toward Jade Cargill, and you get a Jade versus Bianca at the biggest stage.
100. I know Io's going to be a transitional champion. I think Rhea's going to be in the match. I think that Bianca will pin Rhea, and I think it will further Rhea's story of like not being the destroyer that she thought she was, and also it will still leave it so that Io's never lost to Rhea. There's a dynamic that you can create there. I don't mind Iyo losing at Mania to Bianca because the payoff will be Jade Cargill becoming the world champion. At least that's what I would want to happen, and further that storyline. So for the sake of the story, it's great, and they've given Iyo her chance to go to Mania. And even if she's going to be a transitional champion, she's a great wrestler. She's the best wrestler on the women's roster, in my opinion. I think she can go out there and shine, put more stock in the bank for later on, and it's not the last championship she's going to win. She's probably going to win the US and the Intercontinental Championship as well.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I think before WrestleMania, she's going to lose the title. That's what I'm scared of for you.
Oh, no.
So I think Jade's going to take it off her before WrestleMania.
Jade?
I don't see it.
Hell no.
I don't see that. I don't see her losing it before Mania.
No, she's going to Mania. She's definitely going to Mania. I do not... What, she's going to lose it in like a month? I don't think they'll play hot potato of the title like that before Mania.
I'm wrong about these things, so hopefully I'm wrong here too.
We'll see.
Okay, next topic. Travis Scott.
Get his ass out of here, man.
No.
Why was he even there? Why was he doing his sage over Cody Rhodes? Why are you saging Cody Rhodes? Ain't you the demon worshipper? What are you doing, bro?
I mean, he wasn't actually sage, but you know, yeah.
Whatever he was doing, man, and he slapped Cody. But we don't know. Dave Meltzer gets things wrong more than you do, so maybe that he got it wrong, and hopefully then Cody's not injured. Yeah. Sorry, bro, it is what it is. But
I see you doing that. That's all right, man. It's all right. There is nothing you in there. Don't worry about it, man. Let's move on.
We'll call you Black Meltzer. Yeah, no, Travis shouldn't have been there. That was one of the greatest heel turns, even though I saw everything coming. And we caught it on video, luckily, even down to the go fuck yourself. It was all predicted, but it was one of the greatest heel turns. And Travis Scott he couldn't even follow basic instructions. Like, why was he picking Cody up to make Cena force Cody down? Just get his ass out of there, man.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. You're in the moment, you lose yourself, crowd reaction. I saw that little video afterwards when he came backstage and said, "Yo, that was just a whole different experience." So I can imagine. At the moment, you just forget what you're supposed to be doing because you're just so shocked by how the crowd is reacting in real time. No matter all the concerts you do and all the music you do, it's nothing compared to a crowd reaction to a performance. It's just you've genuinely made the crowd feel something in a moment. So I hope the reports are wrong. I hope Cody isn't actually hurt. I'm not going to take it unless I see it with my own eyes from Cody or hear it from Cody himself. But we're going to find out next time Cody comes out. And you know what? I would react if Cody came out, turned to the camera and said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Travis Scott, there's a receipt coming your way." Because that's like okay, cool. Well, you've started something down the line for that. Because let's face it, we're hearing reports about Travis is going to start to learn wrestling properly, etc. I'm not desperate to see that kind of match, but you never know.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
I'm just going to fight Logan Paul so I can gouge my eyes out.
Right. I want to introduce a new segment to the show called The Nation Speaks, or the name is pending. We haven't quite worked it out. People tend to leave comments in the videos we put up, and this looked like a good question to me. Salakthorn, if I'm pronouncing their name right, cool. If I'm not, I apologize for butchering it. But they ask, with WrestleMania right around the corner, do you guys have a favorite moment from the grandest stage of them all? For me, WrestleMania 15 will always have a special place in my heart. Mankind getting chokeslammed through 2 chairs by Paul Wright and Stone Cold vs. Rocky Maivia. People's Champion sold those stunners like no one else. While you two thinking of an answer, I'll go straight ahead. For me, the special WrestleMania 31. that was the first time I got to see a WrestleMania. I'd never watched one before then. I didn't have, WWE Network came out that year and the promotion was $9.99. So when I was working in Domino's head office, I was on a night shift that day. And after everything is shut down, everything's cool, you're just watching over monitors, making sure nothing's burning down. I was watching WrestleMania 31. I was invested in Brock versus Roman, Seth coming out, all this with the title, NWO versus DX, just that for me was everything. That was one of my all-time favorites. I will ask Hayden next. Have you got one?
I remember as a kid, one of my favorite moments was watching Kane beat Big Show and Raven for the Hardcore Championship at WrestleMania 17. I just love that match. Like, they presented Kane so well, putting people through walls and throwing people off stages. And it was nice for Kane to get his shine at WrestleMania, even though he's gotten his shine plenty of times at WrestleMania. I just remember that match as a kid. I always go back to that match. End of an era match, Taker versus Triple H. I thought that match was insane because it's got one of the closest finishes, closest non-finishes that I've ever seen, where they did super kick into, or switch your music into pedigree, and I was like, oh my god, the streak's over. And he kicked out, and I thought that was that's probably one of my favorite WrestleMania moments, I think, because that's one of my favorite matches. Especially when they're at the top of the stage and they all hugged. I was like, damn, it's really over. That's the end of an era.
Okay. Jay, you got an answer for us?
WrestleMania 21, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels is the showstopper. So for both of you to say that, wait, DX versus, did Shawn Michaels come out? DX versus NWO in WrestleMania 31. Was Shawn Michaels there as well? No,
I imagine, yeah, he was there. There was a super kick that was thrown.
Okay, well, we'll skim over that. Point is, nice answer. Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels. Why, Jay? Just favorite match of all time? Or what?
I don't know if it's my favorite match of all time, but I mean, it's not often enough we got to see those two go at it. And that particular match, it wasn't a one-off at the time, I don't think, but I think it may have been the first time they came across each other. And obviously, you put those two beasts in the ring, you're going to get a great result. So, yeah, it's still a match imprinted into my memory, and yeah, loved it.
Okay, well, thank you for answering that. Selak hopefully that answers your question. For those of you who want a moment to shine, please leave a comment, let us know what question you have, and I'll try and take a look and make sure to remember to ask it. Before we cut things off, because I'm sure we will catch up again when SmackDown has happened, whoever's going to come out and talk their talk, Cena, Rock, neither of the two or more, have you two got any pressing points, any final manners, any nagging thoughts you need to
yes,
go ahead.
Yes. Smart refereeing, please make it more of a thing. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Rhea and Iyo, you have Jess, who did a wonderful thing, showing like just actual discretion. Oh, the whole pushing thing, the whole shoving thing, Rhea initiated. Okay, what if she got herself intentionally disqualified so that it's all... Obviously, she did it, and she wouldn't. But I mean, just bring it, please, more of that. Like, I get it. We need to suspend our disbelief, blah blah blah. But it's just like, how many times can we see the same shit over and over again? It's. I'm glad that we had that moment where it's like, wait, hold on. You had people like, no, like actually use your brain for once. And for once, we got that. We don't get it often enough. I want to see it more, but I'm begging of you. One more other thing, actually, that I remember. Do you know the hench referee, the guy who's kind of built? That guy takes me out of matches because I'm like, he's taking bumps, and I'm there like, bro, I'm not even gonna for a second believe that you're knocked out. Like you can probably punch up one of the wrestlers, bro. I don't. It's like.
Where's this come
from?
That
guy.
What's made you say this? What match?
I can't remember where I first saw the guy, but I remember seeing him like either earlier in the year, and I'm just there looking like, I'm like, bro, no, like you don't work. You're way too built for this. I can't believe you're getting punched out or whatever, and you're just knocked out. I can't remember what match, but I'm like, you don't work for that. I'm sorry, you just don't. Like, not for me. Like I'm looking at you, I'm like, nah. You actually can't. I'm sorry, but yeah. In terms of smart refereeing, please more of it.
Hater, anything?
My only criticism really right now is Gunther. I think Gunther is like an amazing wrestler and personality, but I feel like he's lost so much of his shine since Ludwig Kaiser and the other guy, what's his
Giovanni,
name?
whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's been released now. They were obviously that they weren't being presented as Nazis, but they were being presented in like a very menacing, like, you know, like dictator almost presentation, and it was kind of
that's okay.
yeah, it was like they had an aura about them that was like these guys could come out in military suits and I'd believe them, and people would have to fall in line. Now it's like he was insulting Otis, and the insults were good, but coming from Gunther, I was like, I don't know, man. I kind of want you to play more of a Inglorious Bastards kind of villain. You know, like I feel like he would be better at that. I feel like Gunther's aura has gone away, even though he's clearly like meant to be a wrecking machine and a wrestling machine, the ring general. I would just like them to return more to like. Again, I'm not saying he has to play a Nazi, but at the end of the day, let's not be stupid here. He's from Austria. He marches down to the ring. He was with Ludwig Kaiser, and they had the whole like that whole Imperium set up, and they'd whip off the coat, and they'd have their hands behind their backs like that. There was a clear angle they were going for, that, and I feel like they dropped it, and he's just not as scary now. Because there's nothing scarier than a Nazi that could fuck you up, right? Like legitimately weigh your shit in, and he's got his boys around him, and now it's gone. So I want him to return to that. That's my only real criticism.
I get what he's saying. We can remove the Nazi word, sure. But
Obviously, I'm not calling Gunther a Nazi.
Last episode, I'm so. Oh, what have you done to us? What have you done to us?
No, let me just clarify. In case this ends up anywhere. Gunther is an amazing talent. He's one of my favorite on the roster. He's right up there. He's right up there in the top 5. I'm just saying that he was a scary character when he was it Walter in NXT? And when he came over, there was an air about them. It was like, if you don't want to use the word Nazi, you could use like Stormtrooper, like Darth Vader sort of like.
Let's go with that. I like that one, man. Let's do that. Let's not throw the N word on them, and not the other one either. Like,
yeah, I want him to return to that. I want him to get a couple henchmen around him, do the whole marching thing, because the theme song hits. When they come out and you see their back turn with their shadow, and then they do like the head tilted, I'm like, yeah, this is good, man. But I don't know, the aura's a little bit gone for me. So I'd like the Sergei Dragunov that they had going on before.
I like that description too. Listen, I want this national conversation thing to last a year, and you try your hardest to turn it to the ground within seconds.
Nah, we're good,
if
man.
I get that lawsuit email on Google Mail, I'm done. I'm like, oh, fuck this shit, man.
We're talking about the character. God, I'm sure he's a nice guy, man. He seems like a great guy.
Aren't you good? Like, I think I watch this new channel. That, excuse me, they call me a what?
They know what they're doing. They know what angle they're going for with him, or what they want.
I'm not saying anything about it, but we got our point across.
With that being said, are there any other points where we don't have to throw the dirty N word on anyone else? Are we saying any AEW slander? Or we good? We clear there?
I've even forgot they existed. I don't want to talk about AEW this week.
Good, man.
They're AEW. I'm sure they're watching. They saw Jade Cargill come out and return, and Tony Khan must have just folded into himself. They must have seen Cody with Travis and Rock and Cena, and he folded into himself. And CM Punk, and he folds again. Fuck AEW, man. They distance themselves.
That's hard. I need them gloves, man. I need them gloves. I need to
even Penta, man. Like what? Anyway, AEW aside. I hope that Cena and Rock, or at least one of them, come out on SmackDown and they continue this storyline. Because Cena, I don't think people give Cena enough credit for how he sold that whole situation. Because when The Rock was saying to Cody, give me your soul, and so Cody said, go fuck yourself. And when Rock gave Cena the look, it's like Cena's soul left his body. Because when you look at Cena looking at the camera when he's holding the title, he looks like a zombie. Like, there's no life in him whatsoever. And when he went to the press conference, he just dropped the mic and walked away. And I was like, yeah, he's kind of acting like a puppet on strings or like a zombie. Yeah. So I don't know if that was what they went for. That's what I got from it.
No, absolutely.
I hope that they expand on it. And I hope I know like he's the villain now and he's going to take his time and he's going to show up here and then. It'll be special when he does. But yeah, I think it'll be good if we got them out there ASAP.
Great. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you for making time. One day we will get King J to join us and it'll be us four together. Next time, perhaps.
Yeah, he was lost in the sauce. It's fine. I get it.
Tekken consumed his soul. He sold his soul to Tekken. He sold his soul to Harada. Harada told him, "I want your soul, King J."
It's funny because if you look at his face on camera, he's literally just sitting there like,
I need God of Destruction. I need it back. I'm like, oh my brother, look what they've done to you. How they do my boy.
I get it, man. I get it. Tekken's yeah, we'll talk about Tekken another time.
Another time. Right, people, same as always, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for joining us. We'll ask another one of your questions if you give us one. We'll see you next time.